I was popping everybody. Welcome to another video, another trade recap. Now, I'm tired. I ain't even gonna lie. I just got off an hour and a half Zoom call where I was talking for the whole time, and I literally was right on the Discord card before that, like back and forth. So I'm pretty tired. I'm pretty drained, but try to get this trade recap out to y'all and keep my energy as high as I can. But excuse if I stutter a little bit or whatever the case, because I've been talking for a long time. And yeah, so I made $183 on my Lucid Flex 25K today. First day on it. I did pass the account earlier today, but I'm gonna just do a trade recap on these trades that I took right here when I actually got onto the account, because I think that these are the most important trades and these where the most lessons can come from. So you might ask, what is this dotted line right here? I'm not even gonna lie, I don't remember, so I'm about to zoom out and check. I want to say it's a weekly imbalance or something like that. Okay, it's a weekly high, and you can see when we have these very strong draws and liquidity like that, price is going to use them as forms of support and resistance. You can see right here the 15-minute, we ended up pulling back and respecting this dotted line perfectly. It also wasn't in line with the bullish 15-minute fair value gap. So from there, you might be like, okay, Cam, why are you shorting in this area? The reason I was shorting is because I wanted to see us come and fill this 15-minute, and I had confirmation that we were going to. Well, I wanted to see us reach deeper into the 15-minute just because I felt like we were slightly overextended here. Equilibrium was right at this 5-minute low. I want to say this is, this unfilled 5-minute here. Equilibrium that was also in alignment with a volume imbalance, I want to say, or I could be wrong. Or no, it's just an unfilled gap. Okay, well, just an unfilled gap. But nonetheless, though, I took this short after we inversed this 1-minute BPR. Now, you may ask, why are you shorting in a bull market? Because I am playing the rebalance game here. I'm trying to rebalance. I'm trying to play the rebalance, which is exactly what I caught up here, and I got break even right here. But nonetheless, though, I'm playing the rebalance. Now, was this the correct trade you take? In my opinion, like yes and no. Just because, like, yes, overall we are overall high time frame bullish. However, in order for price to go higher, we need to distribute lower first. You know, open, low, high, close. So I am still kind of looking for a lower price. We also had this SMT. We had just swept a lot of buy side. We had a lot of reasons for price to go lower. We have an unfilled 930 wick here, which is oftentimes another strong draw in liquidity. So I have a lot of still reasons for price to go lower. This is also in alignment with, you know, standard deviation down here as well. I'm like, all right, could my first entry have been? This right here. This was my first consideration at a short. However, I'm gonna be 1,000% honest with you. I was just scared. I'm not even gonna lie. I was just scared. I don't have enough data to where I'm super confident at taking this with my full position sizing. And when I'm on my actual funding accounts, I don't like just taking trades I'm not fully confident in. I don't really believe in, I'm gonna take this with quarter size. Like, I'm gonna take a trade, I'm gonna take a trade. And this is not a trade that I'm super confident in. However, I will just point out the reasons why I think that this trade was valid and the reason that it did work out the way that it did. First of all, we had a SMT. SMT put in on top of the fact that we have these rejection wicks here. We tap these rejection wicks, and if you know anything about price, we will use these as trampolines a lot of the time. And the trampoline setting the price in whatever direction that it is opposed. So, as this is a bearish wick, oftentimes you will see price react bearish from these. And as you can see, they end up playing out. I didn't take it. Am I mad about it? Not really. You can't really live with regrets in trading. You just live and you learn. So it's just something to know going forward, and I can possibly maybe even, you know, take that trade tomorrow or another day when it does present itself with a little bit more confidence, because I'm starting to see it happen more and more. Now, why did this trade not work out? Ideally, you can see we still have the 3-minute. My whole thing is like, all right, we close to the 2-minute. This SMC is still holding strong. We have a form of low resistance liquidity in a way. We have some somewhat low resistance liquidity here. We also have unfilled gaps resting beneath us. Price still is yet to rebalance. But based off, even if you watch yesterday's share recap, you will know that price didn't rebalance yesterday to equilibrium either. We kind of got close to it, and then we just ran, which is like, okay, it's annoying. Price shouldn't really do that. But at the end of the day, I can't control what the market does. I can only react. So I let price, I enter, I get stopped out at a loss, which I'm like, all right, cool. This dotted line is also in alignment with this 3-minute equilibrium. I said if we respect this, I'm going to trail my stop loss, which is what I did. So I didn't take as big of a loss. I trailed my stop to these highs once we tap this, just because I'm like, all right, I don't really want to see us have a super strong retracement from here. If we get back above these highs, this is going to get respected and price is going to reverse. This is not going to be a valid short anymore. So I was correct. Got stopped out for a very small loss. So I'm not really too mad about that. I think overall my bias, I think going forward, I'm going to talk about with this trade as well. If the overall time frame is going one way, I'm just going to wait for confirmation with that. Now, this is my second trade here. Y'all can see very clean sweep of the highs, inversion of the forming a BPR as well. Break even at this volume imbalance right here, which ended up getting me break even on the trade. I'm targeting an unfilled 5 minute here. Yeah, it's also it's an unfilled 15 minute. Yeah, targeting an unfilled 15 minute, 1 minute inversion, changing state on the same exact candle. Y'all know this is one of my favorite type of entry models. When you compare an inversion with a change in the state on the same candle, very clean like this, good delivery through. This is my bread and butter, one of my favorite types of inversions to trade. Y'all can see, got break even, didn't work out. So right now I'm like damn near 0 for 2. Technically not even a full loss because my initial loss was only like $100, maybe like $120. So I'm not really tripping about that. But from there, I'm waiting. And then right here, boom, same thing, resweep of the high, same exact play, form the BPR. I'm like, all right, we have even more confirmation now because we have all of this generated sell side here. We still have, this can be my new target. Very good risk to reward. I want to say this was an unfilled something, if I remember correctly. Dang, is it not gonna work no more? All right, whatever. It was, we had reasons to go lower. We just swept the high in alignment with standard deviation. Now, I went wrong on this. And I'm gonna tell y'all where and why. This was my overall previous break-even spot. However, I'm like, all right, we're not delivering the best. Price is moving pretty buns. You can see a lot of just like back and forth types of candles. I'm gonna take the low-hanging fruit, which is what I did. I'm not entirely mad at this trade. But y'all can see my overall draw on liquidity was still met, and I forgot to leave runners. I would usually in a situation like this close like 75 to 80% at this low here, or even at the standard deviation level, and then let the rest go. I didn't do that. I missed out on an extra 15, 16 points. Now, on this trade, I also did pyramid. I pyramided once we got to this displacement candle here on the 30-second. Y'all can't see it right here. I did it through Tradeovate. We had a 15-second CISD like right around here. I pyramided, and then I trailed my stop loss to these new highs, which ended up why I made a lot more money on this trade. I made close to $400, where I'm usually risking like 100-ish, 1 to 200 on the 25K account. But yeah, with this position though, I definitely could have managed it better. I think I was just a little attached to the money. I was kind of mad that I lost, and I was just trying to secure my prize. It isn't like a crazy thing, but when you have strong conviction and a draw on liquidity, you need to trust it. And today I was not trusting that. I was more so just attached to the dollar amount, and I was, basically just that, attached to the dollar amount, and I didn't think logically all the way where I should have. So like, you live and you learn though. We had this low resistance liquidity here. We had standard deviation and alignment. We had an unfilled 15-minute. A lot of reasons for price to go lower. I just didn't fully execute how I should have. But, I can't really be too mad. A winning day is a winning day. It's always better than a losing day. And we just live and we learn. That's it. I journaled it. I wrote it all down. And that's that. So my biggest takeaways from today was just I have to really start focusing more on the higher time frame narrative and not trying to look at what the internal time frame is showing me, because no matter how good, like I said, this was an A+ setup damn near. We had a little accumulation, manipulation higher. I want to see distribution here. No matter how good we look, if the overall higher time frame wants to do whatever it wants to do, it's gonna do that. It's gonna say F whatever the lower time frame is doing, and we're gonna do that. This was actually a pretty good long. I was debating on taking. I just was like, I already took my trades on the day. But this was honestly a very clean long. This inversion right here after tapping the 15-minute, I believe we put in an SMT at the low with, overall, this is my daily target. But y'all can see, I think it ended up playing out all the way to the daily high. Yeah, we ended up pushing all the way higher from there, which is pretty good if you took that trade. But yeah, another thing as well, I don't know. I'm gonna just conclude the video right here. The trade recap is done. I made $183, and I will document every day up until I get a payout from this account. This is a singular 25K account right now. Like I said a couple of videos ago, I've been losing a lot, so I decided to humble myself, come down to one account, 125K account. We're gonna work our way back up from here, and I'm gonna document the whole thing for y'all. That's why I'm trying to get back consistent on this channel as well, so that y'all can see from A to Z. Gonna get the payout, show you how I manage it, and then go from there. But yeah, hope y'all do enjoy the video though. I will catch you on the next one. Have a blessed rest of y'all day. Peace out.